Forget silence. Ghana is for those who want to feel life at its loudest. From the signature finger snap of an Akwaaba greeting to the Afrobeat rhythms shaking the streets of Accra, everything here is raw, real, and breathtaking. This is a land of radical contrasts where pure gold shimmers on Ashanti kings, while the shadows of history still haunt the walls of slave castles. No scripts, no actors, just the soul of West Africa's golden heart, telling a story of grit and unapologetic pride. Don't just watch. Let Ghana get under your skin. The people and the spirit of Akwaaba. In Ghana, everything begins with one word: Akwaaba. You hear it the moment you arrive at the airport, on the street from taxi drivers, shopkeepers, and strangers who catch your eye as you pass. It means welcome, but here it carries much more weight. Akwaaba is a promise. It says you're safe, you're accepted, you belong even if only for a short while. What makes this hospitality so powerful is how effortless it feels. It isn't staged or performed for visitors. It's simply how life works. Someone will stop what they're doing to show you the way slowly and patiently. A circle of strangers will pull up a chair and invite you into their conversation, as if you've always been there. There's no wall to climb, no suspicion to overcome, just openness. Ghanaians move through life with resilience and quiet optimism. Things aren't always easy, but humor flows easily and community comes first. People live with each other, not beside each other. Elders are respected, youth are encouraged, and everyone seems to carry a shared sense of responsibility for one another. Then there's the handshake. Palms meet fingers, slide lock briefly, and finish with a sharp snap pop. A small sound, but full of meaning. It seals the moment. It says, we see each other now. In the steady eye contact, the genuine interest in your story, and the way people naturally make space for you, something shifts. Akwaaba isn't just an invitation to visit Ghana. It's an invitation into its heart. And once you feel that warmth, everything else begins to unfold bigger, louder, more vibrant, and unmistakably alive. Accra, the pulse of urban dynamism. If Ghana's people are its soul, Accra is its heartbeat, and it never rests. This city doesn't grow quietly. It spills outward with noise, color, and motion, where glass towers rise beside old markets that have moved to the same rhythm for generations. The air is thick with life smoke from roasting plantains, horns from trotros weaving through traffic, and salty Atlantic wind pressing against your skin. It's intense, confusing, and impossible to ignore. To feel Accra's true pulse, you go to Makola Market. This isn't shopping, it's survival and strategy. The narrow paths are ruled by market queens women whose sharp instincts and quiet authority keep the whole system running. Fabric peppers, phones, dried fish. Everything moves fast. What looks like chaos is actually order and informal economy that feeds the city and powers the country. You can feel ambition in every transaction. But Accra is not only about hustle, It's also creativity, loud and fearless. In Jamestown, cracked colonial walls become canvases. Music pours into the streets. During the Chale Wote Street Art Festival, the city turns into a living gallery, blending tradition with global energy. The future feels close enough to touch. When night comes, Accra doesn't slow down, it changes rhythm. From stylish lounges to roadside bars serving cold beer and blasting Afrobeats, the city stays awake. Deady December brings the diaspora home, but the joy never leaves. Accra is Ghana's front door, restless, creative, imperfect, and alive. And just beyond its lights, the coast waits with stories that grow quieter, heavier, and impossible to forget. The legacy of the Door of No Return. To understand Ghana's history, you have to stand inside Cape Coast Castle, or Elmina Castle. From the outside, they look calm white stone walls facing the blue Atlantic, almost beautiful. That beauty makes the truth inside even harder to face. These castles were the final holding points for millions of Africans during the transatlantic slave trade. Once people entered, there was no return. As you walk inside, the air changes immediately. It becomes cooler, heavier, damp. Stone corridors slope downward into dark dungeons where hundreds of people were packed together with almost no light or air, sometimes for months. The floor beneath your feet is uneven, worn down by centuries of suffering sweat dirt and human waste absorbed into the stone itself. Then you reach the most haunting place of all, the Door of No Return. It's a small doorway opening directly onto the sea. Through it, captives were forced onto ships waiting in the Atlantic. The moment they passed through everything ended their names, their families, their freedom. The ocean swallowed what remained. Today, people from the African diaspora come here in silence, standing where their ancestors last touched their homeland. The waves crash outside, steady and indifferent, while time seems to stop. Ghana does not hide this pain. These castles are preserved as places of memory, truth, and reflection. They remind us that freedom is fragile, and that remembering is an act of strength. But Ghana's story does not end in chains. To find its power and pride, you leave the coast behind and travel inland, where a great kingdom still lives in gold drums and unbroken spirit. The Ashanti Kingdom and the power of royalty. If the coast of Ghana speaks of survival, Kumasi speaks of power. This is the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom, a civilization so disciplined and united that it resisted British rule far longer than most of Africa. Here, sovereignty was not a moment in history, it was a mindset. The Asante Hena is not a symbolic figure frozen in tradition. He remains a living authority, a guardian of culture, law, and identity. Step into Manhaya Palace or attend a traditional funeral, and you don't feel like a spectator. You feel like you've stepped into a story still being written. The air vibrates with the deep voice of talking drums, carrying messages through rhythm alone. Chiefs glide past on palanquins shaded by towering umbrellas stitched with bold patterns. Gold flashes everywhere, necklaces, bracelets, crowns. Because here, gold is not about wealth. It represents the sun's strength and life itself. At the center of everything is the golden stool. According to legend, it descended from the sky and holds the soul of the Ashanti people. It never touches the ground. No one, not even the king, may sit on it. It is not owned, it is protected. What stays with you is the pride, calm, certain. Tradition here is not trapped in the past. A chief in full royal regalia scrolls on his phone perfectly at ease. Old and new coexist without conflict. That balance is Ghana's quiet strength. And this royal spirit doesn't end with drums and gold, it flows onward, woven into cloth, turning fabric itself into a language of identity. The Canopy Walk of Kakum, a walk above the wild. When people think of Ghana, they often picture culture, music, and history. Fewer realize it is also home to one of the last surviving coastal rainforests in West Africa. Deep inside Kakum National Park, the forest breathes slowly. Alive with birds, rare monkeys, towering trees, and the quiet presence of animals most visitors never see. Yet almost everyone comes for one unforgettable experience, the Canopy Walkway. Seven narrow suspension bridges hang between giant trees more than 130 feet above the forest floor. The moment you step onto the first bridge, your body reacts before your mind does. The wood shifts. The ropes groan softly. Each step sends a gentle sway through the bridge, reminding you there is nothing solid beneath you, only air and endless green. At first, most people stare straight ahead, gripping the ropes tightly. But somewhere in the middle, fear loosens its grip. You pause, you breathe, and when you finally look out, the world opens up. A sea of treetops stretches in every direction. The forest feels vast, ancient, and completely indifferent to you being there. Up there, something changes. Surrounded by trees older than memory, held up by nothing but rope and trust. The noise of modern life fades away. Screen schedules, concrete, all of it feels distant. You remember how small you are. Kakum is more than a thrill. It's a protected heartbeat for the region, proof that Ghana's beauty is not only in what its people build, but in what they choose to protect. And as you descend from the treetops and head back toward the coast near Accra, another kind of sanctuary awaits, one where art, color, and memory redefine how life itself is honored. The fantasy coffins celebrating life through death. Just outside the capital in the coastal town of Teshi, death doesn't whisper, it sings. What looks like a row of small workshops is in fact one of the most unexpected art scenes on Earth. These are coffin studios where farewell becomes storytelling. In many places, funerals are quiet, restrained, wrapped in gray. For the Ga people of Ghana, they are something else entirely, a proud celebration of a life lived fully. Death is not hidden. It is honored boldly. Here, coffins are not boxes. They are symbols. A fisherman may journey onward inside a brilliantly painted fish. A cocoa farmer might rest in a giant cocoa pod. There are coffins shaped like cars, cameras, chili peppers, mobile phones, even sewing machines. Each one says, "This is who I was. This is what mattered to me." Walking through these workshops feels unreal. Skilled carpenters carve curves and details with the care of sculptors. Painters layer colors patiently scale by scale, stripe by stripe. These coffins often cost more than a year's wages, yet families save without hesitation. A proper goodbye is worth it. What's striking is how this tradition flips the script. Instead of focusing on loss, it focuses on meaning. Instead of silence, it chooses color. Instead of fear, it chooses pride. As an artisan paints the final touches on a fish-shaped coffin, one truth becomes clear in Ghana. Creativity does not belong behind glass. It belongs in the streets within families, and even beyond life itself. And that same fearless sense of identity is visible every day in the way people dress, walk, and live. Kente cloth, the fabric of identity. In much of the Western world, fashion comes and goes. Trends rise, fade, and are quickly replaced. In Ghana, clothing speaks more slowly and far more deeply. What you wear can say who you are, where you come from, and what you believe. No fabric carries that message more powerfully than Kente. In the village of Bonwire, the sound of wooden looms fills the air. Clack, clack, clack. It's a steady rhythm that has echoed through these hills for centuries. Kente is not printed or mass-produced. It is hand-woven thread by thread, strip by strip, with patience that feels almost meditative. Every pattern has a name. Every design carries meaning. One speaks of unity, another of courage, another of prosperity. When someone wears kente to a wedding, a funeral, or a national ceremony, they aren't just dressing up. They're communicating quietly, but clearly, without saying a word. The colors speak too. Gold reflects royalty and spiritual strength. Green honors the land and growth. Red remembers sacrifice struggle and the blood of ancestors. Together, they form a language older than writing. Watching a weaver work, you begin to understand the difference between speed and value. A single cloth can take weeks to complete. It's heavy, rich, and alive with history. In a world of fast fashion and disposable clothing, Kente asks a simple question. What if what you wear was meant to last not just for you, but for the generations that follow? Kente is the visual soul of Ghana. And as the afternoon heat rises, another powerful language begins to call one made of spice fire and flavor drifting straight from the kitchen. The Jollof War and the soul of street food. You can't spend long in Ghana without hearing one question that always sparks debate. Is our jollof better than Nigeria's? It's asked with a smile. But make no mistake, this is serious business. The Jollof War is friendly, loud, and deeply emotional. And once a steaming plate of Ghanaian jollof lands in front of you, smoky, spicy, soaked in rich tomato and chili, You may find your loyalty shifting fast, much to the disappointment of Nigeria. But Jollof is only the opening act. The real soul of Ghana lives in its street food. At chop bars and roadside stalls, status disappears. A businessman in polished shoes stands shoulder to shoulder with a construction worker, both waiting for the same meal. Food here belongs to everyone. Take fufu. Cassava and plantain boiled and pounded into a smooth, elastic dough. No forks, no knives. Just hands tearing off a piece and dipping it into hot light soup or groundnut stew. It's simple, physical, and deeply human. In the markets, women pound fufu with towering wooden pestles moving in perfect rhythm. The air carries the scent of Kelawel fried plantains with ginger and chili, and fresh tilapia pulled from the water that same morning. The food doesn't apologize. It's bold. It's hot. It's meant to be shared. Sitting on a low wooden bench, sweat mixing with spice strangers treat you like family. And slowly, the city's noise softens. Another sound begins to rise, laughter, conversation, connection. High life and the global explosion of Afrobeat. You can't talk about Ghana without talking about the groove. Long before the world was dancing to modern Afrobeat, there was high life. Born in the early 20th century, high life combined traditional Akan rhythms with Western jazz and brass instruments. It was the sound of a new independent Africa, sophisticated, upbeat, and incredibly melodic. When you sit in a dimly lit bar in the city and hear those clean, jazzy guitar lines, you're hearing the history of a people who found their voice through music. But today, that sound has evolved into a global powerhouse. Walking through the streets, you'll hear the heavy bass of Afrobeat thumping from every shop and trotro. This isn't just music for the club. It's the heartbeat of the youth. It's a genre that has taken over the world's airwaves, yet its roots remain firmly planted in the red dust of West Africa. There is a raw, infectious joy in the way Ghanaians dance. It's a full-body expression of freedom. Have you ever been so moved by a rhythm that you forgot you were a stranger in a foreign land? In Ghana, the music is the bridge that brings everyone together, turning a crowded street into a celebration. Yet behind the flashy music videos and the vibrant nightlife of the capital, there is a much quieter, humbler industry that keeps the country running. It's a world away from the neon lights, but it's the reason Ghana is known to the world in a very delicious way. The brown gold. The silent toil of cocoa farmers. To find the true foundation of Ghana's economy, you have to head back into the humid, shaded hills of the Ashanti and Western regions. This is the land of cocoa. Ghana is the world's second-largest producer, and for millions of families, this brown gold is their lifeblood. Unlike the massive corporate plantations you might find elsewhere, most of Ghana's cocoa is grown on small, family-owned farms. It is back-breaking, meticulous work. You see farmers using long poles to harvest the colorful pods, then carefully cracking them open by hand to reveal the white, pulpy beans inside. These beans are then fermented and dried under the intense African sun on large wooden mats. It's a slow process that hasn't changed much in a century. When you bite into a piece of fine chocolate in New York or London, you're tasting the sweat and dedication of a Ghanaian farmer who likely lives a very simple life. There is a profound dignity in these farmers. They are the silent pillars of the nation, providing the resources that build the schools in Accra and the roads to the north. As you walk through a cocoa grove, the air smelling faintly of fermentation and earth, you realize that Ghana's wealth isn't just in its gold mines, it's in its soil and the hands that till it. Conclusion. Ghana is a masterclass in resilience and soul. It is a country that has stared down the darkest chapters of history and emerged with its head held high, draped in Kente, and moving to the beat of high life. From the chaotic energy of Accra to the sacred silence of the Ashanti forests, it is a place that refuses to be ignored. You came here as a spectator, but through the spirit of Akwaaba, you leave as part of the story. Ghana doesn't just show you a new world, it changes the way you see your own. It is raw, it is gold, and it is waiting for you.